Enigma rods, the Ippon, the HPT, and the Phenom. Here today to talk about some of the rods that guys might want to look at for crappie fishing purposes, or any panfish as far as that goes, whether if it's perch, bluegill, brim, anything in that category. Enigma rods, they're not just, for bass, walleye, muskie, northern pike. There's a good variety, and I myself and a few others that fish with the Enigma rods, there are a few to take a look at that would be geared in the panfish category, along with, and what you're looking at is probably more of the finesse rods. Now, there are a couple for me that I would suggest, ones that I personally like to use, the HPT, the 6'9" and the 6'11", that is geared for drop shotting, is a real nice medium action with that little bit of extra backbone, especially if you're right underneath the boat, in those and anything along in those situations. Another one you might want to look at is if you're casting, whether if it's jig and bobber, a tight line, a double rig tight line, or anything like that. The Ippon has a light action that you might want to look at. The Phenom also has some medium, and I believe there's one that's a medium light. But anything in that category, there are some ones you might want to look at and check for the purpose of pan fishing. I mean, these rods aren't just bass. There's more guys that are going to some different styles. To me, what I like about them, other than the action you get out of the rod, it's the sensitivity out of these ones. There's other ones out there, the 6 foot, the 9 foot, 10 foot, 11 foot cane type that you might spider rig with. There might be something in the Inland Shore series or the Jetty series. You'd have to check them out. I don't use any of those personally. It's not in my area. But any of you guys that do use that might want to pass it along, that you're finding that they're used in these other areas. I'd say give them a check. Anybody in your area that is with Enigma, or even at the shows, any of the sport shows that Enigma's at, check them out and see if it's for you. Because, like I said, it wasn't something that I looked at first, but the last couple years, really, it was just some of the areas that have been so pressured, or the light bites have been so sensitive, and surprisingly, when you don't, if you're not using a bobber of some sort or a cork, and they won't hit it for whatever reason, but they want that tight line or that little bit of movement, whether if you're just hopping the jig along, or even tiny crankbaits. The Ippon light, the 7 foot, I believe, you'd be surprised on the distance and the nice flexibility you're going to get when you cast these tiny baits out there for panfish. Not to mention, any other fish as far as that goes, smallmouth, largemouth, walleye. They're right up in that category. So don't be, just like, okay, I've got it for this. you'll be surprised what you can change out because Enigma also offers the smaller size reels that you might want to throw 4, 6, or 8-pound test line for on a smaller reel for the purpose of pan fishing, or if you want the bigger reels to hold more line because you could be letting the line out drifting down and slowly bringing it back or whatever. But give them a look. You'll be surprised on how nicely they handle to use for pan fishing. And check them out. Go online, enigma.com. Right now they have deals going on. There's always something going on, and with the holidays coming up, all the new stuff, the orders are going to be coming in time for the holidays or the beginning of the new year. Get them while they last, because every time I see a shipment come in for the company, it's not long before they're out. The poles have become very popular, the rods and reels, not just amongst the pro staff guys, but amongst just people out there fishing that are really, really enjoying these rods. Name's Larry Ewert with Enigma Pro Staff. Good luck, good fishing. Check us out, enigma.com.